to give Baba's love and Baba's powers, I have to be like Baba. Yes, only Baba can give Baba's love, right? So I have to be like Baba. And how do I be like Baba? So yesterday's slogan was very beautiful. Baba said that if you remain merged in the ocean of love, then you will become full like Baba and like Baba. So I have to always be merged in the ocean of love so that I also become loveful. So first question that I have to ask myself is, where is my Buddhi Yoga? Am I always connected to Baba with the heart? Am I always experiencing Baba's love? Or am I being influenced by the body consciousness of souls around me? Or am I influenced by some old sanskar that I have? Where is my Buddhi Yoga? Because if my Buddhi Yoga is with Baba, the ocean of love, and I am experiencing Baba's love and accumulating Baba's love in my heart, then I will become loveful. And only when I am loveful, I will share that love with, the other souls. Now, first thing is, you give as you receive. Yes, so if you have received well, you will give well. Yes, so that's also another law. So I remember, while I was growing up, I had very good teachers, and I never had the need to take tuitions. Class education was enough, and they taught honestly. Even school teachers, they taught very honestly. They never cheated in sharing the knowledge they had, and they made a lot of effort in sharing whatever they had. And because of that, even in the Lokik life, I always felt that you must share what you have. And I always felt that if I know something, so when I was in my graduation or post-graduation, and if there was a friend of mine who didn't understand something of the subject we are studying, I always had this feeling that I need to sit down and explain to this one properly, because that's what I had received. Because I had received it, so I felt like giving it. And mostly if you have been wronged in some way or the other, then you also feel like wronging somebody. So that's the sanskar we have. And in the Lokik world and in this journey of life, maybe there are many things which may not have been right in or accurate or just. But Baba says, forget that world. Now I am with you. Now you forge this relationship with me where I am giving you abundantly and constantly. And just in this relationship, feel Baba's presence and feel the fullness of Baba's gifts every second. And Baba says, when I when my Buddhi Yoga is always with Baba and I feel Baba's love and I fill my heart with Baba's love, only then will I be able to share Baba's love with others. Otherwise, I will always share the love I have received. So maybe if I have received love which is, I do something for you, you do something for me, so that will be the love I'll share with others because that's what I have received. But if I have made this, if I've taken this one step where I have forged this relationship, this deep, true, heart-to-heart relationship with Baba, where I feel Baba's presence and I bathe in the ocean of love all the time. I'm deep into the ocean of love all the time, and my heart is full with Baba's love, then I'll share that love with everyone. And what is Baba's love like? So, in my experience, the first distinguishing quality about Baba's love is absolute and complete acceptance of the total you. So, the Baba doesn't love some parts of you. Baba doesn't love some phases of you. Baba loves the whole of you. So, and the thing is, Baba knows the whole of you and still loves you. So, Baba knows that, it is yin and yang, it is light and dark. So, the soul is both. So, the soul has weak sanskars and powerful sanskars, and the soul is a combination. So, if you look at us, so we are all, if you look at the whole recording, what is it? It is the dark and the light together. And Baba loves us in totality. Baba accepts us in totality. Baba doesn't. So I think, the primary reason why Baba is able to do that is because Baba doesn't have this judgmental idea of good and bad. So Baba knows that this is good and this is bad, but Baba doesn't say this is bad, bad and this is good, good. So Baba doesn't say that, this bad is very bad and this good is very good. So Baba says, no, there is some part of you which is dark, some part of you which is light, but that's how drama is. And because Baba is the knower, the seer of the drama, so Baba doesn't become judgmental about the dark in the drama. And this is why Baba accepts us the way we are. Baba knows we have deity sanskars and Baba knows we have Kaliyugi sanskars, and Baba accepts us with both of them. And when Baba says, and I've felt this one thing that, Baba says meethe bacche every day, and that meethe bacche Baba says non-judgmentally to every child. It could be, any child of Baba, whether that child has very deep Kaliyugi sanskars. But when Baba says sweet children, he means sweet children. And that is the beauty of Baba's love. And I have felt in this journey, that if you know some weakness of some soul, for example, you know somebody and then that soul has a sanskar and that soul has a weakness, or they have acted out of that weakness and you have been witness to that and you've seen it, then it's very difficult for you to say sweet brother and sweet sister after that. You, it's not like you drive them away, you still talk to them, but but there is this thing, you are not so sweet, sister, or not so sweet, brother. So there is this so the way Baba can every day, say meethe bacche is great, because Baba doesn't hold in his heart whatever he knows or sees as part of our weak sanskars. He knows definitely he's Jani Jananhar. Even if he says I'm not Jani Jananhar, he is Jani Jananhar. So he knows, what the child does or what are the sanskars, but still he's able to say meethe bacche with his heart every day. And that's the most beautiful quality of Baba. And Baba has this non-judgmental, wholehearted, total acceptance of who we are. And then Baba has this this enormous, this enormous capacity to make effort for us, make continuous effort for us. And I think, why, so it is always said that love is transformative. Why is love transformative? Because if somebody totally accepts you non-judgmentally, then your heart gets connected to that one. And when your heart gets connected to someone, then you can always influence them. You can always influence them the way you want. And because Baba is the ocean of purity, so Baba acts like a very good mirror in which we can see our flaws very clearly. So Baba doesn't need to show it to us, but Baba becomes this mirror because Baba is the ocean of purity. So Baba becomes this mirror in which we see our own face, and we don't like it, of course, because nobody likes the dark and the ugly. And then we start drawing power from Baba to heal ourselves. And because Baba is knowledge, the ocean of knowledge, the ocean of power, the ocean of love, bliss, joy, everything, purity, so then Baba is able to help us rise above our weaknesses. So if I want to share Baba's love with somebody, then what do? I also have to become that embodiment of total love. And when I become that embodiment of total love, and if I am knowledgeful, if I am pure, if I am peaceful, if I am accurate in my karma, then that soul who becomes attached to my love will also start transforming themselves in the light of these qualities. So, there was this sister, and she was born in a foreign country, and she's a surrendered sister in the yajna, and she was once sharing her experience that it was Prakashmani Dadi's unconditional acceptance of her, that love that she felt from Dadi, which drew her to Dadi. And then because Dadi had embraced this life, so she also felt, I want to embrace this life. So I also want to be like Dadi. So you see that if you are pure, if you are peaceful, if you are acting knowledgefully, and if somebody feels that love and is drawn towards that love that you extend by virtue of being loveful because you're connected to Baba, then they will also start drawing in the qualities that you have. They will also start appreciating being knowledgeful, being pure, being peaceful naturally. And if you keep explaining to somebody purity is important, peace is important, listening to knowledge is important, maybe they will not listen to it. But if they are attracted to that love they feel from you and their heart gets connected, then you are able to influence them and then share the other virtues also which you get from Baba. And they will be also inspired and influenced to become pure and become knowledgeful and become powerful and become peaceful and joyful. So this is the transformative power of Baba's love, and Baba wants us to be an embodiment of such spiritual love. And if we become that, then I think, the transformation of the world will be very easy. But just like I always share that people don't like discipline. People in the world have a very bad relationship with discipline because discipline is enforced with force. Yes, you are always taught something or disciplined with force. That's why you have a very bad relationship with discipline. But have you heard anybody who adopts a disciplined life and doesn't feel good? Yes, if you wake up early, if you exercise, if you follow a proper, food habit, if you follow hygiene, if you follow waking up and sleeping on time, you always feel good, don't you? Because discipline is what makes the qualities grow, the qualities of the soul grow. But you have a very bad relationship with discipline because we have always been disciplined by force. And I think, when somebody feels the love that Baba gives through the instrument, then they are willing to take up the discipline. And Baba always says, Kaide mein fayda. So, it is the spiritual disciplines which make you earn profit. So it's the spiritual disciplines which help you earn a spiritual income. But how do you encourage someone to be disciplined? By being loveful. And I remember, there was this sharing that Chakradhari Didiji was once doing, that when Seva started in Russia, so at that time, in Russia there was food habits and the habits of drinking alcohol which were very rampant. So non-vegetarian food and alcohol was very rampant, and it is still there. So that's the culture. But when Seva started there, then because the sisters were loveful and it was Baba's love that they carried in their personality, then people wanted to come to the center. Yes, and do you understand that those who came to the center had no idea of vegetarian food, and they had no idea of non-alcoholic, life, and they thought that, alcohol was like water there. So they didn't distinguish between alcohol and water. So when they started getting attracted to the center and the sisters, and they wanted to come there, they felt that love, they felt that purity there, then the sisters started saying that if you want to come here, you have to give up non-vegetarian food and you have to stop drinking alcohol. And they said, we don't know how to cook anything other than non-vegetarian. So what do? Then the sisters started saying that, okay, we will conduct sessions for you, classes for you, where we'll teach you how to cook vegetarian food. And they adopted all those disciplines, and they started making that effort. Why? Because of love. And if you follow godly maryadas, if you keep yourself in the boundaries that Baba keeps you. So, have you seen that when we belong to Baba and then we have a thought of anger or thought of criticism or any other vice, then immediately there is something in us which says, no, I shouldn't be engaging in this. Baba won't like it. So, even in the privacy of your mind, you become very aware that I don't want to do something which Baba won't like. So this is how, love can influence you. And Baba says this power is there in pure spiritual love. This power is not there in the distorted forms of love called lust and attachment. So, these days people are engaging in so much of lust and attachment, but do they feel like transforming themselves because of that? No, never. So they always want to do things on the sly and not. They will make sure that the other one doesn't find out, so that they don't feel bad, but they don't stop themselves from doing it. So, they make every effort. When you are in attachment, you will make effort to make sure that the other person doesn't find out, because if they found out, they will feel bad. So, you're very concerned about they not feeling bad, but you are not concerned enough to not do it, because that love doesn't have power. But Baba's love has power. And even when you're sitting alone, and even when you are in the privacy of your mind or in a private space, still you will feel that, I don't want to lose Baba's love, and you want to adhere to the disciplines because Baba loves you and you care, and you appreciate that love, and you want that love to sustain. So this is Baba's love. And then Baba says those who do this, they feel the shower of Baba's love all the time, because Baba always fills the instrument. So if you are the instrument, you will never be empty. So if you become the instrument to share love, then Baba will make sure you are never empty. So you will always feel that shower of love from Baba. And then Baba talks about power also, giving Baba's power to everyone. So some people need a lot of power. And again, how do you give power? By being powerful. Yes, by being powerful. And let's say somebody has this sanskar of always complaining. Yes, and you want to give them the power to not complain. You need power for that, right? So you want to give them the power to not complain. But if you start complaining about their complaining, yes, because that's what we do. When somebody is complaining all the time, you start complaining about their complaining. And then how do you make them overcome their nature of complaining? So if you want to give somebody a power, you have to have a lot of power yourself. And how do you give someone power? By using your powers and consistently supporting them with virtues. So, if somebody is complaining all the time, then you need to stop complaining about that. you have to be in a state where you have no complaints with their complaint, and then you have love in your heart, and you share the knowledge with them that this will lead to creation of destiny. So if you keep complaining about something, you are resisting it, and that resistance will lead to persistence. So whatever you are complaining about will persist because you are resisting it. But they will listen to that knowledge only when you yourself don't have complaint in your heart. And I will give you a very interesting example for this. So there is this sister, and she has some ailment in the body, and then she would always keep saying, I have this disease, and I'm feeling unwell, and I'm feeling tired, and I don't want to work, and I'm not feeling like getting up from the bed. She would always keep doing that. And then there's another sister, and she tried telling her that you have to get up from the bed and you have to work and stop complaining. But this sister had so much irritation in her heart that when she started saying this to the other, then this sister who is not well, she said, you know what, if you had the same disease, I would ask you how properly you would get up from the bed and this and that. And then this sister came running and she asked me, Didi, what wrong did I do? I gave her Baba's Shrimat only na. If she just keeps lying around and she keeps saying that I'm not well, will she get healed? So I said, that's okay, but she cannot endure her pain, and you cannot endure her sleeping. It's one and the same thing. It's lack of the power to tolerate. And if you don't have the power to tolerate, how can you suggest to her and give her the power to tolerate? So only when you can tolerate her sleeping all the time, so, and you are okay with it, you come to a mental space where you have so much immense power to tolerate that you don't have any problem with her sleeping, and then you give her the Shrimad that you see that if you got up and did something, you would feel better. And if you just, pulled out the positive thoughts from within you, that I am fine, I am healthy, you would feel better. So that message will be conveyed to her only when you are non-judgmental about her sleeping, when you have the power to tolerate. And then she said, but I don't like it when she is just sleeping and I'm just working. So I said, then you are both afflicted by the same lack of power. She doesn't have the power to tolerate physical pain. You don't have the power to tolerate somebody having different sanskars from you. So first you work on your power, then give her that power. Okay. So anybody who needs power has to be given that. But the thing is, first, do you have that power? And when I have a certain, when I have all the powers, what is the sign of that? I will remain absolutely stable, absolutely peaceful and joyful in every situation. When I don't mind and nothing matters to me, and then I convey Baba's message, then it will be conveyed. Yes. And let's take another example. If you don't have the power of, let's say, adjustment, yes, and you are asking somebody else to adjust, yes, but you yourself are very disturbed by their lack of adjustment, and you are asking them to adjust instead, they will not be able to adjust, because first of all you have to work through that disturbance which is being caused by your lack of power to adjust. Yes, and then if you don't have the power to be a turtle and withdraw, yes, and you are not able to tolerate somebody's words, and you ask them to keep quiet, and you keep shouting, why are you causing me a headache, keep quiet, then how will they be able to withdraw from their thoughts if you are not able to withdraw from their words? So these are things that we need to understand, that why when Baba gives us a power, we are able to take it, and when some person gives us a power, we are not able to take it, because the one who gives is not powerful. Yes, you are teaching somebody humility, but you want them to feed your ego. Yes. So you are telling somebody that you are not humble, but then you are so egoistic that you are very hurt by their lack of humility. So because they didn't say namaste to you or om shanti to you, you are trying to tell them you must have some humility to say namaste. But the thing is, if somebody doesn't have the humility to say namaste, why are you so disturbed? So you want to feed your ego, but you want to teach the other person humility. It doesn't work like that. So it's very important to understand these processes, and this is why Baba says, give everybody my powers and my love. And to give everybody Baba's powers and Baba's love, we need to be spiritually empowered and spiritually the master ocean of love. So this is something, and I'll take up a little bit that Baba said that those who do not fall into the trap of Maya's cleverness are loved by Baba. Those who stay away from Maya's cleverness. And what is Maya's cleverness? So Maya will tell you that if you don't do anything and take credit, you're very clever. If you push somebody aside and you take their place and you create name and fame for yourself, you're very clever. Yes, so have you seen that we use these words, that person is very clever in the world? When do we use these words? When somebody does less and is able to, hog the limelight, or they are able to, garner credit, and they are able to create name and fame for themselves and not really do the work. So that's Maya's cleverness. And Maya will always tell you that do less and feed your ego more. Yes, and Maya will also, so I remember there was this one sister, and she used to do some seva for Baba. And then what she did is she started writing her own name in that seva, and that name didn't even have BK in it. No Baba, no Brahma Kumaris, no BK, just herself. So just her name, and she started doing it. And then one day somebody asked her, we didn't ask her because there's no point when somebody has this kind of intellect, there's no point telling them anything. But there was this another Mata who asked her, and then she said, when nobody gives you credit, you have to give credit to yourself. So but the thing is, what did that credit do? So even if you wrote your name, what happened? 4 people read it, 40 people read it, 4,000 people read it. So what? And if you were doing seva, and that seva was going in the name of Baba, then everybody's buddhi yoga was with Baba, and you were getting the blessings for that. But Maya tells you, you are being a fool here, you're being cheated here, and you will be clever if you took credit of that seva. And this is how Maya will make us fall into this cleverness. Yes, and only if you are recognized, appreciated. What is it if nobody knows you, nobody, you have no name, fame, then what have you achieved? But Baba says no. Baba says, Purusharth and Seva. You do for Baba. You do on Baba's directions, and you do it so that your account of good karma is accumulated. And don't fall into the trap of Maya's cleverness, where Maya will tell you that, if you're doing Purusharth, if you're doing Seva, then somebody should recognize it. Because when you fall into that trap, you lose Baba's love. And of course, you will get what you are running after, but you don't get the long-term gains that Baba is supposed to give you. So this is Maya's cleverness. And there's this one sister, and she was once staying in the center, and what she would do is she would say, I am doing Amrit Vela in the room. And she would say that I can't get up and sit in the morning, and I have some backache and this like. So I said, okay. So what she would do is she would get up, and when I go for Amrit Vela, she would be sitting. And then when I come back, she'll put an alarm and get up again. But in the middle, she would sleep. So, and of course, we know everything. So then once I told her, why don't you sleep peacefully? Why do you get up? You don't have to get up for me. I'm not going to give you any certificate. If you're not taking any, if you're not having yoga in Amrit Vela with Baba, then you're not getting anything. And what do you think you're gaining by just pleasing me with your presence? And I don't mind, you can as well sleep. I don't mind that. So I said, whatever you do for Baba. If you don't feel like doing, you have full freedom over your fortune. I don't have anything to say in that. And so you see, this is cleverness. So you think you're being clever, but you are clever only when you follow Shrimat and create your fortune. Every other cleverness is Maya's cleverness, and you don't gain anything. That is one thing, but you also lose Baba's love. Okay, Om Shanti.